crowdfunding has been used for anything. Now that we have the story making and the passion. So let me show you the Fund My Castle, what Robert and I do together that we've done for the last 30 years. We've become very active in the courts that lose their homes to foreclosure. And we know that there's a new wave of foreclosures coming. So in 2008, when the foreclosure crisis hit, many people lost their homes, not because they didn't pay their mortgage, but because of the collapse. And that collapse is happening again. And so you're going to see Dr. Zhang's story. And Dr. Zhang was someone that was referred to me, and I just felt so compassionate for him, because he's a very honest doctor. He had a young daughter. I was doing a prototype like I'm doing here, and I took in 12 people that I was going to help save their home or get their home back, or negotiate something with the courts or through the courts or with the lenders. But Dr. Zhang was a little different. Well, first of all, his home that he bought, beautiful home, that's the home in Las Vegas we're going to share. We're going to do a crowdfunding piece for it, and it's Queensbrook Court, so it's Save Our Queensbrook Castle. But Dr. Zhang's story was a little different from everybody else. First of all, he was successful in his practice. He's a podiatrist that helps seniors in senior care facilities. He has a great humor. He does jokes with the seniors, and you'll see that in some of the videos I have about him. The market, I think he paid about, $900,000 for his home. He had bought their first home, sold it, took the profit and put it into the new home. The price of the home dropped from $1 million down to $300,000. And in that state, the difference, they could come after him for the difference against his practice. That's the laws in Nevada. He went to some attorneys, and the attorneys told him, just walk away from the house. And so he moved out. One of the neighbors' friend was a mortgage broker, and he said, let me move in and I'll help you renegotiate the mortgage. And he said, but you have to put me on title. Now, these are all legal terms. In the end, what happened is he lost his home, was liable for $1 million that he didn't do anything to cause it. And the cost to try to get it back was impossible. And this is a really nice man. And so I said, well, look, come in. I don't know how to do it. It took me 2 years to figure it out. We got the house back. We now have it in a position where we can raise the money and own the home outright. And that is our crowdfunding process. If you go look at Fund My Castle, that's what that book started from. And it is a book to teach people how to save their homes from foreclosure, get it back, own their home out with no debt, or buy a home. And that's how it started. That's my Fund My Castle book. That's why when Mashonda showed me what we're going to talk about, this crowdfunding platform, I saw it as a way to raise $1 million with some creative tools that we learned from Business Mastery. Dr. Zhang, as my partner, funded every one of the programs that we did as part of our campaign. So when I aligned with Mashonda, it was because I went through all the programs recent, so I have a model to teach everybody else how to be successful. So if you want to raise $10,000, we're going to show you how you can do it very quickly. And if you want to raise money ongoing, how to use it, it's a great model. If you want to raise $10,000 to go to Business Mastery, and we teach the story of what you want to do, the bigger picture, now you have some passion in with the crowdfunding piece. So with that, we're going to break down the details. They get very generic, so they get the general idea. And then like the two parts is a standard crowdfunding, and you can talk about that. And the second part is helping people.
Just to give you a background on the practice of funding a project or venture by raising small amounts of money from a large amount of people, usually via the internet. That's from Wikipedia. And crowdfunding is a form of crowdsourcing and alternative finance. So we talked about alternative finance. And in 2015, over 34 billion was raised worldwide from crowdfunding efforts.
I'm going to have you get very specific with how you can use crowdfunding, this platform, to raise $10,000. And what are the two options? One option is the standard way that most people crowdfund. And the second option is this amazing everybody helping everybody.
It's a collective of people helping people. And that's done, and that's what we call crowdfunding is, you know, a lot of people put in a little bit amount and it balloons and balloons and balloons. And then we'll talk about and get into more specifics as we go into how this works, but it's phenomenal because all you need is a little bit and everyone helping each other along the way.
So I'm going to draw a little diagram without an engineering background of what I just understand her to say, and hopefully give you a visual. So if you're looking at crowdfunding, and that is a bunch of people, right, that you ask, this is a traditional, you ask, donate $100 because I want to go to business mastery, donate $100 because I want to help build the church. And the more people you ask, the more opportunity you have of everybody putting a little bit in to do what you're asking. In Fund My Castle, 1,800 people put 50 euros up to help renovate a castle. That's the standard crowdfunding. And so if we build a platform for Hortensia to become an intern, that's her story. And we could send it to a lot of people, all asking them to put a little bit because we need $10,000. And if everybody put up 100, how many people would you have to get to give you 10,000?
100.
Right? That say, yay, I'll give you that. This new platform that Mashonda introduced to me that I went, this is amazing, better than amazing, is everybody else that has crowdfunding projects, whatever is put into that, we'll call it pool. Let's say there's 1 million people around the world that put $50 in. Part of that money will come back to you as one of the members in the crowdfunding collective. Shannon, for you, as you build your cause, and we put it here, we also have the ability to fund it by this collective of crowdfunders who want to help change the world with debt-free, no more poverty, all their causes. And so we create this collective, or we have access to this collective of millions of people. And in a sense, in my opinion, it's going to replace the collapsing banking industry, where we're now backed by people helping people for your unique little cause or a little bit of everybody's cause.